Good evening, brothers and sisters. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I just wanted to get in touch with you this Thursday evening and give you an encouraging word, and in hopes that you will spend some quiet time with the Lord in prayer and in Bible study. And it's an important part of my day, and I know that it's an important part of your day as well. And I just want to encourage you to continue to do that. I want to look in the book of Acts, chapter 16. Paul and Silas imprisoned, and just want to read two verses. While they were in prison, they could have had any sort of attitude of resentment towards, the jailer and towards the ones that had put them in prison, and they could have even had a poor attitude towards God for allowing them to get in that situation. But it says in chapter 16, verse 25, it says, "But at midnight Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the prisoners were listening to them. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, and so that the foundations of the prison were shaken, and immediately all the doors were opened, and everyone's chains were loosed." There's times in our lives, and I know I get there daily, where we have a choice to make. We can either throw a pity party, feel sorry for ourselves, or we can worship. And Paul and Silas chose to worship. And I want to give you three things that I believe worship does for us as believers. Number one, it gives us a release from our chains. Daily we can put on certain things at work and at home that tend to bind us and weigh us down. And so, worship, when you get along with God and you begin to worship, it seems like those chains of bondage begin to fall off, like they did in the prison here. For Paul and for Silas. And secondly, worship gives you perspective. As they were worshiping and the chains were falling off, the jailer, if you read on in Acts chapter 16 a little further, the jailer basically was going to kill himself because he had let the prisoners go, that they had escaped. Not that he had let them go, but they had gotten away on his watch. But the perspective of Paul and Silas was to call out to the jailer and tell him not to do that. We're still here. And so it gives you perspective about other people. And oftentimes that's what I need. I need to understand that people are not my enemy. And so you get perspective. And then thirdly, I think worship gives you purpose. Paul and Silas were certainly convinced of their purpose from God. And their purpose was to preach the gospel. And so we get that same purpose, and we're called into different places. But, worship for me gives me a release from my bondage. It gives me perspective, and it also gives me purpose. And so just encourage you to spend some time alone with God as you approach this Sunday morning. And I just pray and hope that you'll find a local body of believers to worship with this coming Sunday. And if you don't have one, please come out to Daniel Boone Baptist Church and join us at 11 o'clock. We have a great time together, and we finish right at 12, and so we can get you out and get you some lunch and get you home. But please come out and join us. If you don't have a local church body, we'd love to worship with you. Everyone have a great evening and a great weekend.